Ferrari himself present. It wasn't until October 1952 that the first testing could take place, with Ferrari dispatching a 340 Sport for testing, lapping at an average of 149 km an hour. The track here in Imola is nestled in the heart of the Emilia-Romagna region, and not too far from here is the Formula One Mecca that is Ferrari's headquarters based in Maranello. Back when the circuit was part of the San Marino GP from 1981 till 2006, Michael Schumacher dominated the track with 7 wins, more than double the wins of the next closest rival. It's not just F1 cars that make use of the Italian circuit, as there is several events that have been hosted here. The World Touring Car Championship and the World Motorsport Championship have both made appearances, and interestingly, the Touring Metal Festival Solis Beer was held at the circuit in 2011.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to CCRL Pro Tier, as they will be taking on the 4.909 kilometer circuit. It has 19 corners in one DRS zone, which is going to be the main straight heading into turn 1, or I think it's actually turn 2, or turn 3 maybe. Is what they consider it here. Let me just pull it up real quick. It's actually turn 2, so we'll be down into turn 2. Some very, famous names here for this circuit. So in the meantime, we are on board with Patty Cake as he's making his way through to finish out Sector 1. He is heading into off the exit of turn 7, up the hill through turn 8, 9, and 10. It's going to bring him back down the hill into the wonderful Arche Minerali. Off the exit of turn 13, heading towards Variante Tosa, which is the chicane here, turn 14 and 15. And then down the hill to Variante Rivazza, and off the exit of turn 19 is going to be Variante Bassa, or off the exit of 18. So, alright, so Variante Rivazza, and now heading through Variante Bassa down in towards turns 2 and 4, where R18 Senna died in Tamburello, and then heading towards Villeneuve chicane now, which is turn 5 and 6. And so trackside will top the timing charts with a 1:15.6. So the question is there some medium tire or some weather coming into play for the Grand Prix, as Fini is nearly 4/10 off the gearbox of trackside here in qualifying. So that's going to make things a little interesting. But let's jump on board here with Bonga as he's making his way down into turn 1, or turn 2 of Tamburello, And now off the exit of turn 4, he's going to carry all that straight line speed all the way into the fast left-hander into Villeneuve chicane. Now this is where Ratzenberger died. I'm not sure if you know Ratzenberger. Off the exit of Tosa hairpin in turn 7. He's now going to make his way up the hill towards Pirantella, which is turn 9 now. Heading back down the hill, goes really wide. Surprised he's not invalidated there into Ake Minerali. And now heading back up the hill towards turn 14 and 15 of Variante Tosa now. Through Variante Tosa, really good entrance and exit there. Now he's going to make his run back down into Variante Rivazza here of turn 17 and 18 now. Heavy on the brakes all the way down to 4th gear, back on the throttle. Carries the car a little wide onto the outside curb so he can get a better entrance through turn 18. Now down Variante Bassa through turn 19, heading towards turn 2, and he sets a 116.8. So a solid lap from him. I'm sure that he's got some improvement, not very too happy with it. On board with Like Me or Not as he's coming through Variante Rivazza now. And off the exit of turn 18, he's trying to carry as much speed down the straight, opens up the DRS flap through Variante Bassa, and he crosses the line with a 117.0. So he's looking for a little bit more improvement as well. SP down into Variante Rivazza of turn 17 and 18. Off the exit, really tight, uses all the curb on entrance and exit, opens up the DRS flap, makes a run towards the line and up to P2 by 0.03 of a second over Feeney. So SP has a really good lap there, up to P2. So nice lap by him. Jump on board with the GOAT here as he's coming through Villeneuve. Chicane heading towards Tosa hairpin now off the exit of turn 7. Gonna make a run up the hill heading towards Pirantella. It's gonna take him through this left-hander on board here as he's heading into Ake Minerale. Let's see how he does. Off the exit, uses a lot of curbs on the inside. Now making a way towards Variante Tosa. Purple sector 2 on the brakes into the entrance. Lets that car really drive with a lot of speed, and he invalidates off the exit. Very unfortunate when he only had a few corners to go. On board with Rapper KK, heading towards Variante Tosa now. Uses all the inside curbs on the entrance, getting a great run off the exit, making his way down towards Variante Rivazza of turn 17 and 18. On the brakes at about the 75 meter, really carrying all that speed on the throttle super early up to 4th gear. Down this long straight, gonna open up the DRS, making a run across the line. He comes and he moves to P9 with a 116.8. So great lap by him. Jump on board with Feeney here as he's coming out of Tosa hairpin, and he dived down to the inside of the circuit and lets the, who's that? The Ferrari. I believe that's probably trackside. Yes, it is. On board with Matthew now as he's making his way towards Villeneuve chicane of turns 5 and 6. Off the exit. Now down into Tosa hairpin here of turn 7. He's looking to get a great run off the exit. He's going to use a little bit of the outside curb. Now making his way up the hill through the gears into 7th gear into Pirantella. Off the exit he goes really wide, and unfortunately that is calling for track limit invalidation. So here comes Comacopa through Ake Minerali. Off the exit, really good exit now, making a run up the hill towards the chicane of Variante Tosa now into off the exit of Tosa, heading back down the hill here, and we're going to make our run into the final 3 corners here as we're heading down into turn 17 of Variante Rivazza. He's coming off the exit now. He's back on the throttle super early. He's looking to hit that DRS button. He's got it wide open, and he comes across the line. Improves nearly around a quarter of a second, but unfortunately doesn't appear he jumped any places on the grid. as trackside appears to be out on a lap, but he unfortunately invalidated and has backed off of his lap. On board with Feeney now as he just made his way through Ake Minerali, heading towards Variante Tosa now off the exit. Is he going to keep it within limits? Yes, he does, making his way down towards Variante Ribazza, the final few corners on the circuit. And here he goes into turn 17 all the way down the third gear, gets back on full throttle into turn 18. Off the exit, up through the gears, making a run towards the DRS line. And here he comes across with a 1:15.627. Got trackside by 12 thousandths of a second. Meanwhile, trackside's making his way down the hill towards the final few corners here. And I gotta say, qualifying only halfway through. We're at about a 7-minute mark here. So some of these guys still have quite a bit of time to put in. I'm not exactly sure what's going on and why we have 2 DNFs on circuit, as they've been trying to catch the action through some of these other folks. Here comes trackside, making his run into Tamburello. This is where Ayrton Senna has passed away, unfortunately, off the exit of turn 4, down this long straight, heading towards Villeneuve chicane, into the entrance of turns 5 and 6. Now he's heading towards Tosa hairpin. He's off the exit. Is he going to use any of the curb? No, he is not. Making his way up the hill towards Pirantella as he's looking into the entrance of turn 9. Really on the throttle. I don't think he downshift, but heading into Ake Minerali here. Uses all the inside curves for both, look like turn 11 and 12. Off the exit of 13, heading towards Variante Tosa. Through the chicane very, very well. Back on the throttle super early. Did not see his sector 2 split. But he's heading towards Variante Ribazza, the final few corners on the circuit. He does have a Haas in front of him. He might get some tow, but it is raining outside. So I wonder how much time he's going to gain. But he gets a little slip and dives into pit lane. So unfortunately, the weather has come into the title of CCRL Pro Tier tonight. So yeah, I mean, the weather is coming into play, and unfortunately being able to gain time on your lap is not going to really happen here. These guys were able to get those soft tires all warmed up. So yeah, the big question comes into play though, is was Feeney maybe made a mistake on his first lap, or did he just put on a wet setup? I'm not exactly sure, as the rain is coming down. So the question is, are we going to get rain in the Grand Prix, as Silos comes off the exit of turn 18 and goes for a little ride in the desert of the gravel, and that appeared to be, I'm not exactly sure what happened with peak hour there. I think he might be starting a lap awfully late. Doesn't have his ERS on, got his DRS on, so not exactly sure what he is planning on doing there. Comacopa is still on an outlap. You can see the raindrops on the track. It is eventually going to get awfully wet. Let's jump on board with Comacopa actually for a minute. Yeah, it looks like it's getting a little wet on circuit, so it's going to be hard for him to find any improvement in that lap. But in the meantime, LB the GOAT did jump up into a podium spot. You got teammates 2-3 between the Ferrari of Trackside and LB the GOAT. MP4 is Jabur, Comacopa MP5. 6 is Osmanian Devil, the Boonster is 7. Patty Cake is in 8th, Like Me or Not 9th. Silos 10th, Raptor KK 11th, 12th is Bongit, Mr. Miller 13th, IRZ 14th, Peak Hour 15th, TMM 16th, and Matthew 17th. And I'm not sure if any of you paid attention to the screen there, but DRS is disabled this time. So qualifying is looking to be pretty much over for a lot of these folks. Just right on Comacopa here for his fun time in the wet weather. And like me or not, he's also just trying to enjoy it, you know, figure out how much will these soft tires grip on a wet track, especially if there is going to be some rain coming into play, potentially in the Grand Prix, where there's the crossover point between the wet and dry tires. It would be wonderful to see that potentially happen for the Grand Prix. I'm sure some of these folks are looking to, you know, maybe go on soft to start if there is any weather late in the Grand Prix or early in the Grand Prix to see how long the soft tires can last in grip-wise on a wet surface. The Comacopa seems to be struggling into the chicane of Variante Tosa. So you can see he's not really getting much grip with those soft tires. Like me or not, does dive into pit lane, and Matthew is also out here, but he's out here on intermediate. So not exactly sure what his plan is. He's probably just looking to, you know, explore a little bit on a wet track as well. And Comacopa is going to take that right-hand turn into pit lane. He's heading at the pit lane limiter there. And there he is, finally parking the car for the rest of qualifying. He has retired from the session. On board with Matthew here as he's making his way down into Ake Minerali. I feel this is probably one of the more difficult sections of the track here at Imola. Probably the most difficult section of the circuit in my opinion. So now we're heading into Variante Tosa. He's really struggling on the brakes there, kind of getting a little bit of a lockup. I'm not exactly sure what is going on for him or if something is being taken into consideration there. You know what? I haven't heard from anybody, so I'm just going to make sure I can hear myself here on the YouTube. Yeehaw. Alright, so I can hear myself, so that's a good sign. But we got about a minute left to go in qualifying, and hopefully some of these guys don't get glitched out like normally would happen for me. 55 seconds, so yeah, Matthew here is the only one out here on circuit, just kind of having a blast in the rain, you know, giving himself a pre-race shower in this wonderful intermediate condition weather we have, as he's making his way into turn 9 of Pirantella, heading down into Ake Minerali here of turn 11 in through 12. And then I'm assuming this left-hander is turn 13. Heading towards Variante Tosa now. Going to get on the brakes at about 75 meters or so. He's got a purple sector too, but definitely know the game is lying there. Now he's going to make his way down the hill into Variante Rivazza. He's just looking to put a lap down that's not invalidated, so he can stay within the track limit. Use a little bit more track on entrance there, but off the exit of turn 18 through Variante Bosa now, and he crosses the line, and unfortunately, you know, he is going to be at the very back of the grid. So there we have it. Oh, okay. So there we have it, folks. That is your qualifying grid. You got Feeney, MP1, Trackside P2, LB the Goat in 3rd, SP 4th, Comacopa 5th, Osmanian Devil 6th, Gaboonster 7th, Patty Cake 8th, Like Me or Not 9th, Silos 10th, Raptor KK 11th, Bonget 12th, Mr. Miller 13th, IRZ 14th, Peak Hour 15th, TMM Racing 15th, Matthew 17th. So there you have it. That is your qualifying here in the CCRL Pro Tier. So there you have it. That is your qualifying. So we are looking forward to getting started here in the Grand Prix. One thing I know I have not mentioned this entire time, and I'm sure some of you guys are probably wondering. Let's see. In regards to the driver's standing, you got Trackside up at the top, and right behind him, 29 points, or 31 points back, my apologies, is Silos. He's starting to close the gap. LB the Goat in 3rd, Comacopa 4th with 284. LB the Goat has 303, so pretty close between them two. Osmanian Devil 5th with 258, SP 6th with 245, Natural 7th, 244, Matthew 10th with 209, Raptor KK ninth with 208. Mr. Miller with 190 rounds out the top 10. Bong at 168. IRZ 163. Feeney 14th with 102. LK 15th with 96. TMM 93 and 16th. King C-Dot 17th with 79. Peak Hour 60 and 18th. Lake Miranot 24 and 19th. And GC Adventure rounds out your field of 20. Look at the team standings here. We got Ferrari at the top, Aston Martin in P2. There's a big gap of about 125 points between Ferrari and Aston Martin. Ferrari got 671, Aston Martin with 546, McLaren 528. Then it's the big gap to Mercedes at 388. Right behind them is the Alfa Romeo looking to battle with them in the P5 position with 331. Haas close right behind them with 319. Red Bull with 301 in 7th. 286 is AlphaTauri. 281 is Williams, and Alpine has 109. So there we have it, folks. That is your grid there. So we are just currently letting these folks get all caught up with their tire strat, their fuel, last check-ins with their wheel input, whatever they need to do. And then we'll get rolling here. In the meantime, I am ready for some Imola, hoping that we will get a little bit of wet weather here on the back half of the grid, back half of the Grand Prix, even though we only see sunny right now. You never know, the weather can change in an instant. If you remember, in 2023 they actually canceled the whole Grand Prix in Imola due to some terrible weather. Actually, the track was flooded and you could ride your boat or kayak on the track. So that's kind of the weather they had at Imola last year, and hopefully this year it doesn't happen again, but I would like to see some wet weather. In the meantime, I am looking forward to seeing some action really take place. So just waiting here. Pretty soon we will be able to take off. Yeah, so we just got the go ahead, so the countdown is beginning, and then the Grand Prix is gonna start. And I hope you all are looking forward to it. And there we go. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 red lights, 5 red lights, and the lights are out, and away we are. We got the 2 Ferraris with trackside with an amazing jump on Feeney here, going side by side. Big action taking place in the back. That's going to be 3 cars have been taken out here in Imola, and Patty Cake, the only one to survive that 4-car crash. Holy cow, we haven't even made it to turn 2, and we've already lost 3. I'm not exactly sure what happened there, but Tom Borello didn't even have an opportunity for the side-by-side action before everybody just goes all over the track in the background there. Unfortunately for both of your Alfa Romeos, they are out of the Grand Prix. Feeney was able to hold off the charging trackside on the start of the Grand Prix. Looking at tires, you got medium, mediums, hards, and then medium from the goat all the way down to the Boonster. Hards for Like Me or Not and P9. Raptor 10th with medium. Peak Hour got medium. Matthew on hards in 12th. TMM on mediums in 13th. And Patty Cake on the soft. So very unfortunate for Patty Cake. You know, he used a set of soft, but the best part is if it is dry at the end of the Grand Prix with a late safety car, he still has the set he can use. Yeah, I was just riding on board with your leaders here in Imola, and next thing you know, we get a background shot of cars going left and right and debris flying everywhere. So let's see how many guys are potentially going to dive into pit lane for some damage. So we will have just Patty Cake in that P14 position, looking to put on a new front wing. And we are on board with Feeney here. So Patty Cake did put on mediums. Very unfortunate for him. Not exactly sure what happened. Once again, just saw a bunch of debris, a bunch of tires, all going off the circuit left and right. So here is the strategy: medium hards or soft medium medium. You know, with an early safety car, you could have also gone hard medium medium to the end. But in the meantime, you know, everybody is back on circuit, staying on their tires except for Patty Cake. Very unfortunate wing damage heading into turn 2. So yeah, that was just wowzers is all I can really say. So in the meantime, let me pull up this little note sheet I got here. So high downforce track. I mean, the only thing you really have to, whoa, I think Feeney's playing with the safety car here, glitching into him. But in the meantime, kind of a high downforce track. The only section you really need that top speed is gonna be down your main straight. But yeah. Whoa! Oh boy! Wow! That was crazy. I'm not gonna lie. I've seen Mr. Miller's POV, and I wish I could put this up on screen for you guys. But wowzers, that was insane. Yeah. And cars going left and right, debris flying here and there. Things just got a little tough, and now big crash heading into turn 1. As making our way through Ake Minerali now, we're going to head up through turn 13. Heading towards Variante Tosa, I think. If I'm right. Yep, into Variante Tosa. Safety car will be calling itself in, and then we'll get rolling. Mostly going to be off the exit. Variante Ravaza of turn 18, and Feeney will be leading us to the green flag. So here we go into the final few corners. We do have a turn 19, that's Variante Bassa, which is off the, or right by the pit lane entrance, and Feeney is going to be taking off very shortly here. Gonna try and catch Trackside off guard here. Gonna ride on board, and there goes Feeney, and Trackside right behind him. So not much you can do there as Trackside's heading down the straight. Trying to put the pressure on. He does seem to have the slipstream. Is burning the battery into Tombarello. He's going to back out and fall right back behind Feeney now. He is going to probably have a little bit more straight line heading into Villeneuve chicane using the slipstream. I believe, if I am correct, Trackside uses left downforce, and you have the booster goes off the circuit. Stays well to the inside there. Like me or not, around the outside of the hairpin. Now heading up into Pirantella of turn 9. Up the hill, heading back down the hill towards Ake Minerali. And it looks like everybody is staying in single file here. No moves really being made. Silo's got pretty close there to Like Me or Not in the P9 position. Making our way towards Variante Tosa. Anything gonna happen here into the corner? No, nothing happens into Variante Tosa. Off the exit we go, down the straight, heading towards Variante Ribaza, the final two corners, major corners on the circuit. And Trackside did appear to get by Feeney. My apologies, did not catch that. And I wonder if Feeney is gonna put the pressure back on Trackside. Yes, he is, using the slipstream to his advantage. Goes right down the inside. I'll be the GOAT, right past. And Trackside side by side with Feeney here as he tries to go around the outside, but doesn't happen. Osmanian Devil and SP getting into it off the exit, and oh, more action, and looked like a little bit of debris. Not exactly sure who that was that lost all that debris there. And and appears to be the booster who loses some debris. Looks like he lost the left inside end plate, so very unfortunate from him. Like Me or Not, and Osmanian Devil are 5-6. You got 2-3 between the Ferraris, 5-6 between the Haas. So it looks like to be a good day for both of those Ferrari engines. Peak hour is looked down the inside into Pirantella, and now he's coming through Ake Minerali, heading up the hill towards Variante Tosa. Not much really going on here. Matthew getting awfully close to the Raptor KK in front of you here off the exit of Variante Tosa. Trackside getting awfully close, heading down through Variante Ribaza. Gets a little loose off the exit. Now he's going to close some ground. DRS is going to be enabled this time by heading towards the Tombarello. Now, Trackside is 1 second outside of the range, so not much going on. SP Jabbour is looking to make a move down to the inside into Tombarello. Side-by-side action between the Haas and the Mercedes, and that allows Silos to close up to the back of him as we're heading towards Villeneuve chicane. Now, you got Silos all over the gearbox of SP Jabbour, and that's not going to pay dividends there. Osmanian Devils close up to the back of Comacopa here as we're making our way up the hill into Pirantella. Going to come through turn 9 now. Off the exit, he's going to keep it within the track limits down the hill into Ake Minerali. Is he going to be able to gain any time as Comacopa appears to be gaining a little bit through sector 2, back up the hill into Variante Tosa. Jump back on board with this 3-car battle between SP, Silos, and Like Me or Not here. SP is about a half a second off the rear diffuser of Like Me or Not. 6/10 now. Heading down into Variante Ribaza we go. Off the exit of 17 through 18 now. Trackside sets the fastest lap of a 1:18.9, so he was actually outside the 1 second range. And he has found his way to catch back up to Feeney as we made our way through Tombarello now. Off the exit of turn 4. Heading toward Villeneuve chicane we go. Into turn 5 and 6. We're going to head towards the Tosta hairpin here around turn 7. Right behind him, we almost have a 3-car battle now as Comacopa has caught up to LB the GOAT in front of him. Must have been the GOAT made a huge mistake and allowed Comacopa to really close back in, because at the line they were about 2.2 and now it's 3.4. So that's quite a gap there that was made up. IRZ has left the session. He's actually out of the race, so I do not have to invite him back. As trackside is still on the rear diffuser of Feeney, gets a really good exit off of the Variante Tosa there, heading towards Variante Rivazza. We got a couple 3-car train battles going on throughout the grid here, so everybody seems to be really keeping pace, you know, with a specific group of cars. So it's going to make things interesting towards the end of the Grand Prix, though, as trackside has DRS. Is he going to close up enough into Tom Barello? It doesn't appear, but Comacopa looked to get by the GOAT, and here comes Osmanian Devil around the outside. He goes into Tom Barello. The GOAT is going to continue to fight through the inside, but unfortunately not close enough to get it. Makes a little mistake through the corner. Peak Hour, Matthew just got by Peak Hour, so now his next stop is to chase down his teammate and get involved in the 3-car train up in front of him. Silos goes a little wide off the exit of Villeneuve chicane as they make their way through Tosa hairpin heading up toward Pirantella. Jump back up through the order here. We got Comacopa, Osmanian Devil, and LB the GOAT still within a second of each other, all in DRS range. Trackside trying to keep it within DRS once again on Feeney. Battery trackside still has quite a bit of battery. Trackside has more battery than Feeney, so it seems to be he's on a stronger pace here in Imola, and it's going to make things very, very competitive towards the end of the Grand Prix. We're only on lap 8, about to cross the line to complete lap 9. Comacopa and Osmanian Devil still battling here for the final podium step. As long as everybody keeps it within track limits, we're going to have a great battle all the way to the end. The GOAT is falling out of DRS range. SP is starting to catch up. Trackside around the outside of Feeney into Tom Barello we go. Now Trackside got the lead once again. Is he going to be able to break a 1-second range in this lap? We'll find out. Like me or not, around... wow, a little bit of craziness going there through Tom Barello. Like me or not, up to P7. Now he's going to make a charge toward SP here. He's only 8/10 off. Feeney is still trying to chase down trackside for that P1 position as we're making our way through Pirantella now, heading down towards Ake Minerali. Through turn 11. Uses all the exit curb in toward turn 12. Off the exit of 13 we go. Heading towards Variante Tosa 14 and 15 now. Using all the curb there on the inside in 14. Heading towards the final 3 corners on the circuit. More like 4 corners with this little right-hander here of turn 16. Into about a 75-meter braking zone. Off the exit of turn 17. Into 18. Here we go. Down the DRS straight. Feeney does manage to keep it within DRS, but he's not going to be close enough heading into Tom Barello to complete that move, as Osmanian Devil is really trying to close up the gap to Comacopa in front of him. He's 4/10 off. He's really low on battery though, but he's down to a 1/4 of a second into Tom Barello of turn 2. Not close enough. Silos here is trying to close up to Like Me or Not, which he has. And guess who come with him? Matthew. And guess who's come with him? Peak Hour. And guess who's chasing them? Raptor KK. So we got ourselves a pretty decent train here from P7 down to the P11 position. Osmanian Devil still putting on the pressure to Comacopa here, as making our way down the hill to Ake Minerali. In through turn 11, 12, and 13 now. Back up the hill. A lot of elevation change here. Feeney is still trying to keep it within DRS range on trackside, but trackside seems to get a really much better run through Variante Tosa. And Feeney, or Osmanian Devil, got a great run through Variante Tosa. Now he's side by side with Comacopa as they make their way through turn 16, heading into Variante Rivazza. Into 17 now, off the exit, heading through turn 18. Now guess what, Comacopa, and there goes Osmanian Devil! No! Oh! Very unfortunate. Oh, just calling the battle too. And that's going to bring out a safety car here on lap 10. Unfortunately, the weather is looking to get a little cloudy around here in Imola. Very unfortunate safety car situation there, as it appears the Boomster is going to take advantage of that along with TMM and Patty Cake. They all went through pit lane, so going to jump here onto tires to see the next set of tires here. We got medium for Trackside Feeney, Coma Copa, and the GOAT. Then hard for SP and Like Me or Not. They're probably all going to be looking to jump off of those tires. So here comes your leaders, all coming through pit lane now. Coma Copa as well, and LB the GOAT. Here comes SP, so hards for trackside. And then hards for Feeney, and Like Me or Not, is actually going to stay out on his hard tires here. SP on a set of mediums and the GOAT on a set of hards. So one of the hard tire runners did not switch. Who was that? Everybody's on fresh hards here. Oh well, I messed up. In the meantime, you got Like Me or Not up 8 positions. Trackside evened with him. 2 positions for Feeney, 1 for Coma Copa, 1 for SP, 3 for LB, 3 for the official, 7 for Peak Hour, 2 for Raptor, down 2 for Patty Cake, up 6 for Matthew, up 4 for TMM, and down 6 for DeBoonster. So the good part about this safety car is DeBoonster is going to be able to catch back up to the grid here and hopefully put a charge on towards the end. But this should be an interesting second stint here. See who is going to try and make their tires last until the end. Well, as we're making our way through Ake Minerale here, back up the hill, heading towards Variante Tosa. Safety car should be in this time by, so we should be getting back under a dry Grand Prix here at Imola. Unfortunately, with the hards and mediums all coming into play, it kind of got me wondering if any weather is going to come into play, which I don't think will do so. But, it should be fun. There we go. We got Like Me or Not looking to lead us through turn 17, 18 of Variante Rivazza. And Trackside is going to be looking to hang on awfully tight as we're heading down the start-finish straight. And they both get an even jump. Feeney gets to be caught Feeney seems to be caught out a little bit as Komakopa is now really closing in on him. Here comes SP as well. Into Tombarello we go, side by side, banging of the wheels, making our way off the exit of turn 4. Peak hour has gone around back here into Tombarello. Up to the front once again, trackside's now losing ground to Like Me or Not in front of him as we come off a Tosa hairpin up the hill towards Pirantella. Of turn 9, Feeney is looking to close back up to the back of him. Unfortunately, he has opened up a second gap to Komakopa. So now he's going to be looking to close it as we're heading down towards Ake Minerali. SP is all over the rear diffuser of Feeney through turn 12. Now here we go, back up towards Variante Tosa, trackside down the inside, complete the move well before the braking zone. SP defending off LB to go into Variante Tosa as well. So off the exit, heading towards Variante Rivazza of turn 17 and 18. The last two big corners on the circuit before we come through Variante Bassa in turn 19, which is this little right-hand kink here as we cross the line. Feeney, 3-second time penalty, very unfortunate. Looking down to the inside of Like Me or Not. He doesn't want to lose that track position to trackside in front of him. Down into Tombarello, he keeps it within the time, or within the interval there of a second. Silos is falling off. De Boonster goes down to the inside of TMM Racing, complete the move, and Matthew is looking to make a move. He goes for a little bit switchback as we're heading towards Villeneuve Chicane. Not close enough to get side by side into the entrance of Villeneuve Chicane. LB the Goat off the Tosa hairpins, now chasing down SP, as SP still trying to catch Komakopa, and Komakopa is all over the rear diffuser, Like Me or Not, as we're coming through Pirantella down into Ake Minerali. Here we are making our way up through Ake Minerali up turn 13, heading into Variante Tosa now. We got a 4-car train. DRS is going to be enabled this time through. 5-car train now as Raptor KK has caught up to the back of him. Needs to keep within the DRS. It's actually a 6-car train if he can get up into the rear diffuser of Silos in front of him. As we're coming through Variante Rivazza, trackside has opened up a 1.2 second. He's got the fastest lap once again at a 1:18.3. But now we're all making our run down into Tombarella here as Komakopa is looking to peek around the outside of Like Me or Not into Tombarella. There is a tire difference. SP gets a little wild there coming through turn 3. Really cuts over the sausage curb and goes for a little bit of a ride. Into Villeneuve Chicane we go. We got actually a lot of action going on here. LB the Goat is looking to put the pressure on SP in front of him off the Tosa hairpin, and we are heading toward Pirantella. Feeney is starting to close the gap up, back down to 1.1 seconds, heading through Pirantella down the hill towards Ake Minerali. In through Ake Minerali we go. Up the hill once again. LB the Goat is now going to try heading into Variante Tosa once again around the outside of SP. And instead he has to back out as SP held the line. But this allows Silos to get a better run off the exit as we're making our way through turn 16. Heading towards Variante Rivazza. And Silos is going to back out, fall right back in line there. Off the exit of turn 18, Komakopa has extended a gap. Patty Cake with a 3-second time penalty. Penalties are rolling in. Like Me or Not has dived into pit lane on lap 17 of 32. Now SP's got to put the work back on, but LB the Goat is looking to go around the outside into the Tombarello there. Off the exit of turn 4, making our way down into Villeneuve Chicane. And here comes Silos down the inside looking on LB the Goat, but decided to back out. Now we're into the hairpin. Feeney is really falling off the trackside. Komakopa's got that 1.8 second gap on LB the Goat here, or on SP as we're making our way through Pirantella. SP's really got to find some time if he wants to catch back up to him here as making our way through the second half of the Grand Prix here in Imola. Feeney's Trackside's opened up a 3.3 second gap, so Trackside's really got that pace here at Imola, and it's going to show, especially at 70% battery and on hard tires, compared to Feeney's about 60% battery, also on the same tire compound as Trackside as well. Making our way through Variante Rivazza, SP has opened up a 1.4 second gap over the GOAT, but Silos around the outside, inside, and Raptor gets involved there. Somebody's lagging. We got some ghosting action going on as we head into Tomborello. Peak hour heading into turn 2 as well. Following along him is TMM Racing as they're making their way back up to try and catch up the train in front of them. Raptor has fallen out of DRS, actually caught back into DRS. 3-second time penalty for the GOAT. Very unfortunate as it's going to hurt the end of his Grand Prix as he is involved in this train heading up through Purintella now. SP is starting to catch up to Comacopa, trying to get it back within that second, heading through turn 13. Making his way into Variante Tosa of turn 14 and 15 here in the chicane. He is unfortunately not close enough. Now we gotta head down to Variante Rivazza. He really needs to get to within DRS, and he does not. So he is gonna have to go another lap of no DRS. Raptor KK is still trying to hold on to the back of Silos here for that P5, to battle for that P5 position. He's got a little bit of a comfort cushion behind him with 2 time penalties. Making our way down the straight into Tomborello. Raptor did not get close enough to make a move. Neither did LB or Patty Cake here off the exit of turn 4. A little bit of a straight heading towards Villanueva chicane. And that was LB the GOAT. Goes really, really wide off the exit there of Villanueva chicane. Now he's stuck around the outside. And he goes sideways! And I'm not sure if there was contact there or not, as he just goes around the Intosa hairpin. And Matthew managed to avoid any incident that could have potentially happened. SP is now within range of Comacopa in front of him. Here comes SP. He's closing the gap. Really close now. He's going to sweep down through the inside and say thank you for that P3. But keep in mind that SP is on a soft compound tire right now compared to Comacopa. And they boxed on like lap, I want to say 17 or no, it was like 15. So they had like 17 laps to go. Or no, it's actually more like lap 12, sorry. So it's like 20 laps to go, so it's really a matter of can he keep these tires from really overheating, wearing down, and potentially exploding by the end of the Grand Prix. Comacopa has fallen. He's gonna fall out of DRS range here as we're making our way into Variante Tosa, and it appears he has done so. But SP is now looking to put the charge on towards Feeney here, as Trackside back is way up to 4.3 seconds and still climbing. So he's not really too concerned because Feeney does have a 3-second time penalty. However, the only driver on the charge is SP. Comacopa is still within DRS. He's not going to be close enough to make a move. Here comes Raptor KK though. He's going to go to the outside, heading toward Tomborello, and Silos is going to fall right in line behind him into turn 2. Now making our way towards the Villanueva chicane of turn 5 and 6. Then the Tosa hairpin of turn 7. off the exit, and it appears Silos is really trying to put that pressure on Raptor or get him moving, because he wants to get him back within DRS range of Komakopa. Komakopa is still fighting to keep within DRS range of SP in front of him, but he is just outside of it for the time being. Off the exit of Ake Minerali, Raptor didn't get a great exit. Komakopa's tires are starting to come into it, because now he's within 9/10 of SP. Is he going to get DRS here? I believe he did pass in the detection point within a second. Off the exit of turn 18, now going to make our way through Variante Bassa. Coming across the line, SP dives into pit lane on those medium tires. He's looking to do a two-stop here at Imola. See, he goes with another set of medium tires. Silos gets around Raptor KK before the entrance to Tomborello. Peak Hour gets by, TMM gets by, LB the GOAT gets by. So SP's got a lot of work to do if he's looking to get back through the field. Raptor KK in that P5 position. He's looking to really do some work here. He's looking to put the pressure on Silos, heading into Ake Minerali. Silos did overtake him on the last time down the start-finish straight. Raptor KK is looking to pay back on this time through. See if they can use that DRS slipstream to try and close up the gap to Komakopa once again. Can they work as a team here? Patty Cake just kind of falling behind. Just hoping these two make a mistake between Silos and Raptor, but it doesn't seem to be so. Down off the exit of turn 18 through Variante Rivazza. Now we're going to head through Variante Bassa. Across the line we go, and here comes Raptor. Raptor is looking to overtake down into Tomborello, and he does well in advance of the braking zone. The Boonster has dived into pit lane. He's looking to put on a set of soft tires to make it to the end. LB the GOAT just makes the move on TMM Racing. Unfortunately, pit lane is extremely long here in Imola, but the track with the high downforce, you definitely need a lot of tire grip. Raptor KK did get by Silos on the start-finish straight, so these two are still trying to work together. They're keeping it around 2.3 to 2.5 off the gearbox of Komakopa. But Raptor KK seems to have a little bit more pace on Silos through Sector 2 as we're heading through Variante Tosa. Now making our way down into turn 17 and 18 of Variante Rivazza. Silos is still going to have DRS to Raptor in front of him off the exit of turn 18. Silos is not going to be close enough though. Raptor got a great exit off of turn 18. Although Silos is definitely burning. Is he going to be able to make a move into Tomborello? No, he's not. He's just going to fall behind going into turn 2. Making our way through Tomborello off the exit of 4, down this straight, heading towards Villeneuve chicane of 5 and 6. Through Tosa hairpin. Raptor is down to about 2.4 though. He goes really wide off the exit of the Tosa hairpin, but he still kind of keeps the same distance to Komakopa here, as we're now going to make our way down the hill into Ake Minerali. Off the exit of 12, back up the hill. Raptor's got a lot of pace through Sector 2. He's got him down to 1.9 here, heading into Variante Tosa of the hairpin off the exit. Now we're going to head towards the final 4 corners through turn 16 here of the right-hander just before Variante Rivazza. Patty Cake is looking to try and close up the gap. He's down to 1.7. Let's see how SP's doing here. He's really catching TMM as we're coming down the hill towards Variante Rivazza. And yeah, SP's got him within DRS reach now. Let's jump back on board with Silos here. Still not close enough for Raptor KK off the exit of turn 18. And it appears Raptor is really pushing. He's down to 1.6. SP's now going to be looking to make a move on TMM here into turn 2. He's going to go around the right-hand side, burn a little bit of battery, completes the move into Tombarello we go. And TMM definitely goes a little wide, takes the ride through the gravel, waiting for him to come around. No, he spins off in the gravel. Very unfortunate, like me or not, does get by. Matthew is also looking to get by, and the Booster had gotten by. So very unfortunate there for Mr. TMM, as he was seeming to have a great day, probably one of his best races. And whoa, Silos gets really deep and gives himself a 3-second time penalty going into Variante Tosa. Very unfortunate for him. So now Raptor's goal is, can he catch Coma Copa? That's his main goal, off the exit of turn 18. Seems to have a little bit more straight line here heading down the straight, but I'm not exactly sure, as Coma Copa does seem to have a lot more battery than he does. In the meantime, trackside, checking in with him, 6.2 second gap over Feeney, and it's continuously climbing lap after lap. So Feeney is trying to put in the hard work to keep up with him, but trackside is just not having it tonight. He wants to win this, and he wants to win it with a statement tonight here in Imola. Silos is still trying to keep within DRS range of Raptor. Raptor has lost some pace to Coma Copa in front of him as making our way up the hill towards Variante Tosa into the chicane of 14 and 15. Is Raptor going to get a great exit? He doesn't seem to have a better exit, but he's going to keep the gap within. Although he did get a better exit than Silos, as Silos has fallen out of that 1 second range and unfortunately did not get back within reach. The Boosters looking to make a move on Matthew here as we're going into Variante Tosa here of turn 14. Not going to be close enough. Off the exit, Raptor still trying to chase down Coma Copa. The GOAT gets another 3-second time penalty, so time penalties are really flying in here. Yeah, we got a 6 second and an 8 second here on the board. So time penalties can hurt. Coma Copa's 4.3 off the back of Feeney, so he's hoping Feeney potentially gets another time penalty that would put him within reach of a P2. Silos is trying to battle here. Let's actually check out biggest movers. Now Raptor up 7, Peak Hour up 8, Silos up 5, and then you've got down 5 for the GOAT, down 5 for SP. And SP is really doing some work on those medium tires. It's already up to P9, almost within a second of the GOAT in front of him here as we're making our way up towards Variante Tosa. Nobody's within DRS range, although Raptor is trying to chase down Coma Copa here in that P4 position. The only three of the four drivers in the top 4 don't have time penalties. 3 of the top 5 drivers don't have time penalties as well. Oops, we want that. We don't want that. As we're making our way down the straight, LB is looking down the inside, and he's not going to be able to make the move into Tombarello. But now he is on the rear diffuser of Peak Hour, and SP is also looking to put the pressure on as well. Making our way into the Tosa hairpin off the exit of turn 7. Is anybody going to make a move up into Pirantella here? Coming through turn 8, heading into turn 9. Nobody's going to be looking to make a move. LB doesn't give himself the most beneficial line, but Peak Hour also goes a little wide down into Ake Minerali. And still keeping an eye on Raptor. He must have struggled at that time by LB. Does get by Peak Hour and Ake Minerali as well. SP is now going to be peeking to make a move as we're heading through turn 15. We're making our way down into Variante Ravaza and then Variante Bassa. Off the exit of turn 18, SP is going to have the DRS to the car in front of him. And Peak Hour does as well, but SP is not waiting around. He wants to make this move, and he wants to make it stick quick. Peak Hour peeked down to the inside, and unfortunately was not able to get back there. As now SP is looking to put pressure on the GOAT here into Villanueva chicane. Off the exit of the chicane, it appears the Boonster may have spun around. Not sure if contact happened. Very unfortunate for him. Not a great day for the Boonster in that Mercedes, so it's very unfortunate. He's going to finish in the P13 position. In the meantime, SP is battling with the GOAT here as making our way down the hill towards Ake Minerali. And is it going to allow SP to get a run towards Variante Tosa? He is within 3.5 tenths, but he's not going to be close enough to try and outbreak him into turn 14. No, B does have a time penalty, but putting all time penalties aside, this is the battle we have on the circuit. We've got about 3 laps to go here as we cross the line this time through. I believe it's 3 laps, as long as it doesn't go to 31. Yeah, so 3 laps to go here as SP now around the outside of LB the GOAT, makes his run down towards turn 2 of Tamburello, and they come through, and oh, trackside with a time penalty. He was having such a great race, but luckily 7 seconds up on Feeney here, so it's not going to really cost him anything. But he was hoping to get through the entire Imola Grand Prix penalty free. But it seems to be there's a lot of gaps here really forming. Raptor seems to pull up to Comacopa, and then Comacopa pulls away. And I think that's because of the battery difference between the two drivers here, as Comacopa is conserving enough to keep him within 2 seconds. Nobody's really close enough. SP is 9 seconds off the next car, and that's going to be patty cake. The question is he going to have time? He's probably not. We are on the penultimate lap as trackside coming through into Villanueva chicane now. He's got a 7.2 second gap, and this has just climbed the entire time since the safety car. And that's just going mistake free the whole second stint. Still riding on board with Comacopa. Raptor has done it again, down to 1.4. In through Ake Minerali, trying to catch him, but I don't think he's going to be close enough as we're heading into Variante Tosa. Trackside here has started the final lap at Imola. Goes a little wide off the exit of Tamburello, but that doesn't mean anything to him as he's coming through Villanueva chicane, heading towards Tosa Hairpin. Riding on board with the race winner if he can keep it clean all the way to the victory line. Here we go up the hill through turn 8 into Pirantella. The field is very separated, so there's really no battles to call here. So trackside coming through Ake Minerali now for the final time here at Imola. Back up the hill one more time, heading towards Variante Tosa. into the entrance of Variante Tosa. We are just going to ride on board as he makes his way towards the line here, heading back down the hill towards Variante Rivada. And I still believe Trackside does have the fastest lap here in Imola. We will check that right now. No, he does not. Matthew actually has it. But here comes Trackside through Variante Bassa now. Off the exit of turn 19, across the line, and takes the victory here in Imola. Beanie's going to come home in the P2 position with Comacopa coming home in P3. As he's making his way towards the line now. Off the exit of turn 18. Raptor right behind him in P4. You got Silos, P5, Patty Cake, P6. SP is looking to close within Patty Cake. And he's not going to be close enough. Finishes in P7. LB the Goat going to come across the line with a P8 position. Does he lose it? Yes, he does. He will lose it to peak hour. Matthew now crosses the line. And he jumps them both because he didn't have a time penalty, I'm assuming. And then TMM Racing just riding on board with him as he makes his way into Variante Tosa now. He's through the final two corners. And he is looking to complete his Grand Prix here in Imola. Heading down the hill through turn 16 towards Variante Rivada. Off the exit of turn 18, making our way towards the finish line. Here comes TMM, completes the Grand Prix for himself as well. There you have it, folks. That is your CCRL Pro Tier here as they took on the wonderful circuit of Imola. It was a great race. However, I'm going to change the driver of the day, and I'm going to go with Raptor KK. A lot of improvement in position all the way up into the P4 position, gained 7 positions since the start of the Grand Prix. But managed to finish the race penalty-free as well, although Matthew did. But we'll give Raptor KK that driver of the day all the way up into P4. Best run I've seen him have, I believe. So, great run for him. Congratulations to Trackside Feeney and Comacopa, your top 3. And then Raptor, Silos, Patty Cake, SP, Matthew. 9th is Peak Hour, 10th is LB. Like Me or Not, 11th, TMM 12th, Dubunsta 13th, Osmanian 14th, 15th is Mr. Miller, IRZ 16th, and Bonget comes home in 17th. In the meantime, there you have it. That was the CCRL Pro Tier. Tune in Wednesday night as CCRL Elite Tier will be taken on. Where are they going? Wednesday night. We have to check the calendar. Wednesday night. We just finished Portimao, so we will be going to Barcelona Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. And then next Monday night, the Pro Tier will be taking on Azerbaijan. So that should be a very interesting Grand Prix next Monday night. In the meantime, I am the Johnny Damon. It's been a pleasure as always. I will see you guys next week.